ようこそシャノン、我が黄金のバラ庭園へ。
There was that voice again. Shannon looked around to find who it was. As she did, a golden butterfly landed on the seat across from her and instantly created a human form.
久しぶりであるな、シャノン。元気であったか？まあ、元気であった。わらわは毎日そなたたちを観察しているのだから。
This woman laughed as though she was an old friend of Shannon's. However, Shannon obviously didn't remember the strange gold rose garden, and she didn't remember this person's face either.
そうだったな。そなたはわらわをもはや覚え。
私はあなただったらごめんなさい。
謝るには及ばぬ。そのようにしたのだからそなたの罪ではない。名乗ろう。わらわは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ。
ベアトリーチェ様。親方様が口にされる。
そのベアトリーチェでは六軒島の夜を支配するそなたが日々敬意を忘れぬ館のもう一。
あなたがベアトリーチェ様。
怯えずともよい。わらわとそなたはもともとは同じ仲間。わらわはそなたに憧れ日々使用人の仕事に励んでいたこともあったので。
私はずっと一人部屋でルームメイト。
別れの時しかしわらわはそなた、そしてそなたとの友情をわらわの方から一方的に破棄し、だからこそ一人残すそなたに悲しみを与えぬためにわらわとの日々の記憶も世界も全てを消し去ったのだ。分かろうとしないでよい。ただわらわはそなたに危害を加えるために。
ここは私の夢の中ではないのですか？
夢の中と思ってよい。厳密には眠ったそなたの魂を我が庭園に招いたのだ。そなたをこの世界の住人に招くために。
Beatrice snapped her fingers, and a storm of gold butterflies all rose up around the rose garden. Interesting. As the cloud of butterflies danced over the table, a gorgeous tea set appeared. There were teacups and a teapot, more elegant even than those used by the Ishinomiya family. The tea was filled to the brim and had a sweet rose scent, one which Shannon had never smelled before. Before there was even time to be amazed by that scent, butterflies started gathering one by one on the table, and a tea stand sprouted right out of it. It was like watching a magical mushroom from a fairy tale kingdom grow out of the ground. It was a many-layered tea stand filled with beautiful cakes like edible jewels. Of course, there were also several lovely light brown scones. The honey truly was golden honey, with bits of gold leaf dancing through it.
後ろ宮家も時にティーパーティーを開くようだが、わらわのす
ごい。こんなの見たことありません。
I'd be very surprised if you had.
見たことがあろうとも、それは給仕をする立場からで、そなたはわらわの給仕の必要はないぞ。何しろわらわは魔女。給仕は間に合っているのでな。さあ遠慮することはない。好きなだけ頬張るがよい。
ありがとうございます。
That was all Shannon managed to say. It would be hard for anyone to say much more after being suddenly invited to such a beautiful witch tea party.
まずは紅茶からどうか。ミルクは新鮮。砂糖もそのままかじりたくなるほどの上物よ。しかしまずは最初はストレートをバラの花びらをほんの一枚浮かべるだけで、もう二度と人の世の紅茶など飲めなくなってしまうに違いないぞ。
Laughing happily, Beatrice opened, not a sugar pot, but a rose petal pot. Picked up a single crimson petal and floated it on her tea after relishing its scent. Shannon did the same, picking up a single petal and smelled its aroma.
なんて素敵な。これは本当にこの世のバラの香りなの？
喜んでもらえて嬉しい。わらわが紅茶に浮かべるためだけに品種改良を重ねたバラだ。すりつぶしてジャムにしても これがまた絶品でな。スコーンにもこの上なくよく合う。試してみるか？
あ、じゃあ少しだけ。
Shannon had been invited to this witch tea party suddenly. However, the witch seemed so truly innocent, and her smile as she played the hostess was so happy that it made Shannon want to smile too. The tension in Shannon's heart gradually faded, and she started to enjoy her chat with this witch.
使用人の仕事も大変であろうな。わらわもよく覚えているぞ。礼拝堂の窓枠の掃除がとにかく
驚きました。あなたも使用人として働いていたことがあるの？
短い間だ。覚えておらぬだろうが、そなたと共に働いていた。わらわはドジで物をよくなくす愚か者。そなたはわらわの憧れる理想の使用人であった。
なのに私が覚えていなくて。
それを詫びる必要はない。ここでは何の不自由もない、何の苦労も退屈もない。そなたが望む全てのものを与えることができるの。今やわらわにはそれだけの力がある。それに至ったことをそなたには知らせたかったのだ。
何の取り柄もない私を本当にありがとうございます。
辛き日々を今日まで耐え忍んだそなたへの褒美。さあ黄金の蝶たちよ、わらわの友人を退屈させるでないぞ。軽やかな舞を見せるがいい。それに飽きたなら楽団を呼び出し、そなたの好きな曲を何でも演奏させよう。
Free bird.
それにも飽きたなら勝者なる使い魔たちに種なし手品を披露させてやろうぞ。安心せよ。ここでの時間は無限。そしてそなたの願いもまたわらわが無限に叶える。わらわの茶会に終わりはないのだ。
In a truly good mood, the witch told Shannon several strange stories. They were all stories Shannon had never heard before. Very interesting stories. And they were all odd, bizarre fairy tales. Shannon felt as though she had become Alice in Wonderland. The time she spent at this tea party was strange, pleasant, and relaxed. No, the clocks have no hands at this tea party. So the time passed like a Sunday morning when you can wrap yourself in your blanket for as long as you want.
本当にこんな素敵な時間を与えてくださり、
礼はいらぬ。なぜなら人の世で礼は別れの言葉を兼ねるのであろう。この茶会に終わりはない。だから礼も必要がない。
でも感謝します。ベアトリーチェ様、こんな素敵なお茶会を。でも終わらない夢はないように。
ほう、なぜに終わらねばならぬのか。
明日も早いので。
Because I have a job. I need to go get my bread, you know? I need to stack that paper. Listen, it's been fun, but you know, I got the morning shift.
いつまでもここでおしゃべりをしていた奥様に大目玉をもらってしまいます。
なぜにわざわざ短気な夏日のいる世界へ帰りたがるというのか。いやいや、労を多くして何のねぎらいもない人間の世界へなぜにわざ。
私人間、いつまでもここでお世話にはなれません。
シャノン、そなたは勘違いをしているようだ。わらわはそなたを招いたが、追い返すような真似はここでの時間はそなたが別れを切り出さねばならぬ義理。わらわはそなたとどれだけ茶会を共にしようとも飽きぬぞ。
Listen, homie, like, I like hanging out and whatnot, but like, you know, this shit just gets repetitive after a while. Like, oh, let's have some tea and scones and jam. Oh, the band. Oh, your magician friends. That's great. Oh, more tea. All right. Oh, bringing in more scones and jam. Awesome. Oh, the band. Oh, I get another song. Haha. Oh, Master of Puppets. That's a great one, guys. Oh, wow, more magicians, huh? Wow, I think I saw David Blaine do that one, and that's more tea, huh? Really? Okay. like, you know, work's not fun. All right, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna even try to front. And there's not even any variety in the workday either. Like, honestly, like, what am I even arguing for? I don't know. Yeah, I don't even have a point. I was just saying, like, yeah, this shit. That's the thing. Too much good stuff, you get used to it and you get bored with it. I don't know. Like, work's not fun, but then, like, you know, you get to go home. You get to go to bed and wake up for work the next day.
むしろそなたという話し相手が実に心地よい。
お言葉は嬉しいですけど、自分の世界に帰らなくちゃいけません。
家人にこき使われ、日々なぜわざわざ帰るというのか。
それでもそこが私の世界。
シャノン、そのような世界が率直に言おう。シャノン、わらわはそなたを迎えに来たのだ。
迎え？
かつてそなたのような良き使用、そして魔女の世界に憧れ、使用人から魔女となったわらわだからそなたを迎えに来たのだ。
Beatrice spoke quietly and slowly rose from her seat. Ooh, it sounds vaguely threatening.
シャノン、
No, you don't understand. I've come to take you home. Like, hey. Oh, fuck, my camera stopped working.
やはり使用人よりも魔女の世界の方がずっと楽しいぞ。この茶会など旧友とのほんの挨拶代わりでしかない。わらわとそなたが望めば望んだ数だけ、それこそ無限に、この黄金のバラ庭園を完成させた今、こここそが理想郷。そう、ここを黄金の理想郷と名付けよう。その完成に至ったからこそそなたを迎えに来たのだ。もう何の不自由も忍耐も努力、ここでそなたとわらわは永遠に、まるで終わりのないおとぎ話のようにな。
素敵な申し出を。でも私は元の世界へ
なぜに？
ここは私の世界ではありませんので。
それは認める。これまではそなたの世界ではなく、だからわらわが招くのだ。これよりここは、そなたはもう客、この世界のわらわにも何の遠慮、この無限の世界でかつてルームメ、
その記憶がないことが、でもそのお招きは
なぜにそなたに人間のどんな義理があるというのか。
True, the world of humans, or the world of servants, is busy all the time. Adam is strict, high-strung, and has a short temper. I'd be a lie if I said that everyday chores weren't a pain. Having to balance work with school makes it even harder. Beatrice had watched over Shannon's painful days the whole time. She had seen those constantly tired shoulders heave in a sigh over and over. That was why she had invited Shannon here, to this golden paradise. She had tried to give Shannon a perfect welcome, to truly make her happy. So why had Shannon selected her original world over this one? Beatrice was overcome with shock and completely unable to understand.
この理想郷にてわらわはそなたに対し最高のもてなしをした。
Let's keep going.
そしてそれはこれからもそれ以上の楽しい日々が続く。
I'd be thinking a bit, but let's keep going.
なのにそれでも人間の世界を選ぶそなたには人間の
世界にだって魔法に負けないくらい楽しいことがあります。
Okay, if we're like following this line of thought, right? So they're preparing for the family conference, right? And like Shannon gets a crush on George, right? And that's why she wants to be human. That's like the whole theme that's been like throughout all the episodes, right? She falls in love with George, wants to be human because of that, so therefore wants to stay in the human world. So then obviously you think, oh, George is the cause of that, but then you think back to why George started being Mr. Suave and confident, and it's because he was jealous of a certain person. Uh-huh. Now, I'm not saying that's the catalyst for all the shit that happened, but I'm just saying, if you want to point fingers somewhere, some things make sense.
バカな。
Unless she's about to say something that totally throws that out the window. I don't know. We'll see. That's happened plenty of times throughout this playthrough.
あります。
Shannon's expression was soft. However, her words were firm. There was something wonderfully fascinating in the human world. That something was apparently not in this paradise, where everything was supposedly just as they wanted it. It's missing the love.
わからぬ。
You're missing the love, the single element. As Beatrice muttered, she shifted restlessly several times. However, no matter how often she said it, Shannon's smile didn't falter, and Beatrice couldn't think of an answer.
では、私はこれお茶本当に美味しかった。
わからぬ。わらわは全てを無限に手に入れられる。そのわらわに、そなたは手に。
はい。
知りたい。全てを手に入れたと信じるわらわが、今だ。
多分、あなたはもう、だから私をここへ招いてくれたのではないですか。
Snap. Yeah.
魔女を煙。
では、これでここに住むことはできませんが、お茶会にお誘いくださった時、
もう呼ばぬわ。安心するがよい。
Oh. Beatrice snapped her fingers and Shannon popped out of existence. Shannon's soul had returned to the dream of her original self. While humans have many dreams in a night, they can remember none of them. The tea party in this paradise mixed in with many other dreams and vanished. The next morning, Shannon would not remember this tea party. However, Shannon's cup remained here. The witch who had lost her guest and was standing alone looked all the more lonely. The witch dug her fingernails into the tablecloth. That grimace as she bit her lower lip made it clear that she still hadn't solved the puzzle Shannon had left behind.
リーチェ、気にすることないわよ。
A black hole opened above Shannon's empty seat, and the owner of that voice fell out of it.
気にもする。ああもガツンと言われてはな。
夜明けも近いから早く睡眠に戻りたいだ。
わらわが知らず、そしてわらわの理想郷になくて人間の世界にのみある何かとは何かわからぬ。知りたい。
難しいこと考えたってシャノンの代わりなら私たちで楽しくお茶会を過ご。
もう茶会の気分で、そなたとの茶会は。
Oh, ouch.
あらあら、釣れないわ。
Bored of having parties with you. The witch shrugged and laughed and took a bite out of a scone. She then blew into it and it swelled up like a balloon before finally popping. Golden ribbons and butterflies flew out of it. Beatrice didn't appear to notice.
一体何をわらわは持たぬという。何を。
Wait, that sounds like a helicopter. Okay, no, it's the boat.
どうぞ、お足元にお気をつけになって。
Alrighty, but with that, I am gonna have to end this recording session here. My god, this has been a trip, I will say. Am I any closer to really knowing who it is? I'm not gonna lie to you, no. Do I have like some vague thoughts rolling around in my head? Kind of. But if you expect me to be like, here's who I think the culprit is, and here's all the clues I gathered that makes me think that's not at all happening right now. I'll say right now. And at this point it doesn't matter because they're just gonna keep feeding me things until I finally get it. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I finish this playthrough, never figure it out, and people hate me for it. I don't know. It's possible. The amount of people I've seen online being like, oh, like listen, it's like everyone should figure it out by episode 6. Come on, like it's so obvious, dude. And like that's not even people talking to me. That's just people talking about the story in general. Because like I've had a couple people now that I follow play through it. I haven't like seen anything from them of them playing through it, or I haven't been spoiled on anything. But like, you know, they always post like, oh yeah. I just finished this episode. I can't believe that people haven't solved it by now. It's like, yeah, dude, I don't fucking know. Apparently, like, one of my friends who's just finished the question arcs not too long ago, Apparently he spent like 5 hours just trying to solve the epitaph on his own. Like, even if I wasn't doing videos of this, I don't have that kind of determination for this shit. I don't have the strength for that. Hell no. Hell no. Like, at the end of episode 6, I gave myself like a solid, what, 45 to an hour? And I'm pretty sure, I haven't even edited that bit yet. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up cutting most of it out because I learned nothing. I spent like an hour thinking, and the only thing I learned was that Shannon is voiced by the same voice actress who voices Haruka in the Yakuza series. That's my biggest takeaway from an hour of thinking and research. You know, research without spoilers. Obviously, if I wanted to spoil myself, oh boy, I could. And honestly, once I finish this game and I still haven't figured it out, I'm going to. But like, I'll let the game play out. I'll see what happens. But like I said, I am going to end this recording session here. It's either going to be a quick jump cut or a new video, but regardless, I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, peace. What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Umineko Answer Arcs Episode 7. In the previous recording session, we got hit with quite a bit. Alright, we saw a good amount of information. Alright, we discovered who Leon really is and the story behind that. We discovered the absolute atrocity that Kinzo committed. That's definitely something I wanted to know about. Will has discovered who the true culprit is. Well, not the culprit, or what? Well, that's the thing. Is the culprit and who Beatrice is the same person? Like, that's a question you gotta ask yourself. But we now know, like, the origin stories of the person who would take up the mantle of Beatrice. At least the Beatrice of 86. We learned that there's that when we count the Beatrice of 86, there is 3 different Beatrices in this story. So that's definitely not confusing in the slightest. And then my biggest bet is on Shannon. I don't like. I'm sure it's pissing people off that I don't have it solidified in my head who it is. I'm sure that's irritating a good number of people out there. Just like, what do you mean you don't know? What do you mean you don't know? It's obvious. Dude, look at it. What do you mean you don't know? I just don't. I don't. My brain's not saying like, hey, we have enough evidence to support this. This is where my mind's at, and I believe this. I'm like, nah, I kind of think it's them, but I could be wrong. That's the thing. Like, there's been so many twists and turns throughout the story. I mean, as there should with any story, honestly. But there's just been so many twists and turns. I don't know. I'm not confident in any assumption, right? If I don't have like any like solid like evidence to back up any of my theories, like I have no reason to believe that what I think is, you know, true. I have no reason to be confident in that answer. So I'm not going to be. So I don't know. My biggest bet is on Shannon, but what we saw just before this, where we are at now, was so God, how do I describe what the hell happened? So we were looking at this kid's origin story, right? They were this, it was the kid from 19 years ago. The incident happens, they survive, they get sent to the mansion. They get sent to the orphanage. Genji sends the surviving child to the orphanage where they're raised, and then once they're like 9 years old, he lies about their age to throw Kinzo off the scent, and also because the kid's frail enough to look that like they're that younger, the kid gets sent to the mansion. So that like all kind of works out, but then like all this stuff happens where like the kid's interacting with witches, so clearly that's not what actually happened. Apparently they were like a piss poor servant, but after they started getting like tips and hints from like Kumasawa, I think was like one of their biggest inspirations, that's like taught them kept them from fucking up all the time. And I guess that was perceived as like witchcraft the way the kid saw it, and then eventually the kid like left this plane of existence and then just went on to become a witch and totally changed reality. Obviously that's not what actually happened, which the fact that Shannon was the only one left behind and there was no canon kind of leads me to believe it's Shannon. That Shannon is the actual Beatrice in the scenario. Obviously, like I said, I got nothing to support it. But also, I know from just looking at the wiki that like the official ages for Shannon and Canon are 16. But like they said earlier, that Genji took 3 years off the kid's official age. So that would mean if they were those two, they would be one of those two, they would be 19. It would make a lot of sense for it to be one of those two, especially given the fact that, like, you know, at the beginning of the episode, when you have Leon, who is, like, you know, in this world, that kid, they don't know who Shannon and Canon is, because, you know, one of those two is actually, you know, the kid from these fragments. It makes sense. I know it's got to be one of those two. That's the thing. That's where I'm not confident in my answer, is like, I know it's either Shannon or Canon. I don't know which, alright? I haven't settled on which. Which? Get it? Which? No, but, I'm pretty sure it's Shannon. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, I've rambled long enough in this little recap. Without further ado, let's jump back into it, shall we?